This little piece is called Spiritual Successor by me. Hello and welcome to Spiritual Successor. AJ, you're ruining my song. You're ruining my opening. I was gonna do a whole sultry Frank Sinatra circa 1971 opening for Spiritual Successor, the comedy video game podcast, where we take lovely ideas from the internet and turn them into shitty video games, and you ruined it. AJ Hart, what do you have to say for yourself?
Sir, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were about to do a musical piece. I thought that you were introducing the podcast show and saying that it was by you singularly. So
it is not in your interest to know what I am doing. It is your interest to be quiet and listen to my beautiful what is it? Vibrato? Vibrato is a type of singing. It's not like a quality of singing. I don't know.
Dog, vibrato was my nickname in college. What's up?
Wow, you just really top-notch quality there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a podcast where we take your lovely video game ideas and turn them into the next AAA video game titles. I am Blake Rhea.
And I'm your other host, AJ Hart.
All right, AJ, you said you had something you wanted to talk about top of the episode. You said you played a new video game starring...
I did, and you know what? I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I feel like talking about it really plugs it and will make more people experience it, and I don't know if I want more people to experience this.
Oh, no. Okay.
I finished 12 minutes yesterday. It was about a 4-hour experience, and let me tell you, there have been a lot of people up in arms about the plot twist of that game. And I saw it on twitter.com, and I was like, well, I have to know what it is. Yeah. But everybody was so tight-lipped about what the spoiler and plot twist was. And I was like, well, if everyone's going to be tight-lipped about it, then I need to know even more now.
All right.
But
is it aliens? Is it...
I wish it was aliens.
Was
you know
it
what? You
all
keep
in
listing
his
off what you
head?
think it is. For those that don't know what 12 minutes is, it's a time loop video game. It's a top-down point-and-click adventure where you control a husband that has just gotten back to his home. And in 12 minutes, a police officer will break into his home and kill your wife and you.
Okay.
You now are put in a time loop where you are attempting to figure out why any of this is happening.
Uh-huh. And is this... And you only have what's in the,
You only have what's in the apartment and what you can try to talk out of the people in the game. So,
okay.
like when you first come in, the wife is like, oh, I'm trying to set up dinner. Or I'm trying to give dessert for you. So you can walk over to the fridge and grab the dessert out, and you can immediately start putting out the dessert onto the table so that you can be ready to have dessert with her and already have the table set. And if you do that little thing, then she'll be all super excited and she'll be like, oh, that's so sweet of you. You opened up and set up the dessert for us. That's so sweet. I love you very much, my dear husband. Mm-hmm. Or you could kind of make her do everything. But that's fine. She's okay with doing everything because she has a big announcement for you. Mm-hmm. Now, I mentioned it's a Groundhog Day thing. Yeah. Or it's a time loop thing. So what you could do is you could come in at the beginning of the loop after you've been murdered, run directly into your bedroom, and then grab the present that she's going to give you, open it, and then talk to her, and then she will be really upset that you spoiled the surprise, and she will leave the apartment.
Okay, Here's the thing. All of that sounds really fun, but one thing you're holding away from the audience that I think they should know: the woman, your beautiful wife, is voiced by Queen of the Andals, Breaker of Chains. I don't know the rest of her. Khaleesi, Amelia Clark. Holy shit! I'm sorry, I have a huge crush.
No,
I have a huge crush on
Daisy Ripley.
Is Daisy Ridley? I thought it was Amelia Clark. Oh well.
No.
Oh, Daisy Ridley's also pretty cool.
And then James McAvoy plays the husband.
Wow, how did I fuck that up? I don't know.
Willem Dafoe plays the cop, or the air quotes cop that is coming in to kick your ass.
That's a good casting for a cop because he has that just like shit-eating grin, sort of like gravelly voice.
Willem Dafoe's a good casting for anything, dude.
Yeah,
he just has energy.
He's a great villain. Well, just so I remember
he's
correctly,
a great villain.
William Dafoe was the guy who did
main
Green
character,
Goblin, right?
guided character. He's the Green Goblin.
Yeah, he was.
He's
Ryuk
from
cool
the from the Death Note movie.
That's right. He is Ryu.
He is the teacher of Aquaman in the Aquaman film. I did
not see that one, sadly. I hear it's actually way more fun than people give it credit for. So
it is incredibly fine. And that's all I can really give it.
So 12 minutes, and it was building to this climax, or real quick question: does it end on the twist, and the twist is just incredibly unsatisfying?
Fuck, I wish it ended on the twist.
So you had to play after the twist? Oh, fuck.
Yes, there's a twist that happens that you still have to go past the twist to get to the ending. And the things that it does with that twist are deeply uncomfortable, and not in like a thematically interesting way. Like, people have been complaining about this thing, and at first I thought it was just because it was rough. No, it's thematically uninteresting. It does not compound on any of the themes previously built in this game, which is maybe the most frustrating thing, is that it does feel like shock value.
So it's like, okay, so it just feels like a game that did something bad just to do something bad, and then did nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, I guess the real question is, because I want people to walk away with something. So, do you recommend playing this game for all of the other elements outside the twist, or is the twist so bad that just playing it would, all of the good things about it are ruined by said bad thing?
I think that, admittedly, like, the rest of the game was pretty rough. I ran into a lot of glitches. There was a moment where there were 2 or 3 moments where a character would kind of get lost on their rails and just start spinning, furiously. And it just sort of lagged out like that for the entire loop. I think that the dialogue is fine most of the time, but sometimes it's really clunky. I don't know that it is put together nearly as well as a lot of like playthroughs and trailers make it seem. So I think there are better time loop games. There has to be better time loop games. I couldn't really point to one, but you're probably better off playing a different point and click adventure.
I'm so surprised. So you mentioned that dialogue is really rough, right? If the dialogue is really rough, how the fuck did they get Daisy Ridley, William Dafoe, and the other dude? Like,
that's probably business stuff that I don't really know or could speak about.
I mean, that's right. Bad dialogue does just suddenly get better when you add an extra zero on a paycheck. You're totally right.
Yeah, no. Now, I've been dancing around this plot twist for everybody's sake. And Blake, I'm prepared to tell you the plot twist, but I will have to censor myself, or we could just move on with this non-recommendation.
But part of me's like so fucking curious to play this game, because I thought about it and I almost bought it last night, but then I realized, okay, it's $25 and I'm hearing a lot of bad things about it. Is it okay, go ahead and tell me. That way we can just capture my reaction, because hopefully it's a good reaction. All right, go ahead and bleep yourself. Yeah.
Blake Rhea, the spoiler, the big plot twist.
What? Why? Why is that a thing? Why did they... So, okay, but why do that? Yeah, I guess that's not that bad of a twist if they utilized it. Like, there's plenty of media
here's the
who
problem.
do that.
You are then forced to answer questions about this reveal. So you are then forced, when your character comes to this realization, they have a bunch of introspective scenes where you are then asked in conversations what the best course of action is for you to continue.
Oh, God. That's...
Because, like I said, that is not the end of the game. You are forced to answer questions by other characters about this thing.
Huh. So, and I'm imagining that's why the police officer came in and burst in and is killing.
No. The police officer is there to kill your wife because she killed her dad.
Oh, okay.
It really does kind of like come to a point where the game sort of feels like it's staring you in the eye and saying, wouldn't it be fucked up if...
You know, if I could take one thing out of all of this, it totally fucking makes sense why Hideo Kojima says this is one of his favorite fucking games that has come out recently. Because that dude loves weird twists and weird things about video games. It's not even like he does it narratively. He just does it because it's like, hey, wouldn't it be weird or goofy or bizarre or like tantalizingly otherworldly if X thing happened? So the fact that he went into this game and is still talking about it and how he wants to create his own like narrative experience like this does not shock me.
I would actually really enjoy a Kojima time loop game. I think that's the thing that I'm really bummed about is like that that reveal doesn't work in this game. Yeah. But the rest of the game, like clunkiness aside, like I was having a good time with the time loop.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think there are better time loop games out there that are probably better enjoyed.
How about this? I challenge us. We're gonna be the writers for Hideo Kojima this episode, because we did talk a lot about 12
minutes. We did
minutes.
that once already. No, we can't do that again.
We can't do. Okay, how about we just be the writers for us, and we try and make a good time loop game? Can we make a game that is better than 12 minutes, and we'll have Emilia Clarke in it? Because come on, casting as Emilia Clarke. Who's your other lead person? Man, woman, neither.
Jonah
non-binary. You threw me a curveball, and that I was
not expecting. Why are you laughing about that? He's a very good serious actor. Have you not seen Maniac?
He's a very good actor, but like Jonah Hill is one of those. I am surprised that he was able to break
out of the comedy scene, and he's doing great.
He totally broke the mold. He will always be super bad to me. He will always be that. Okay, imagine that character trying to either romance or convince Emilia Clarke that he's like capable of not being a goofball. You know,
he can do it again. I've seen Maniac, and he's incredible in that show.
Really, he was in Maniac. Who is? Oh, I'm thinking of. I think it's literally just called.
You're thinking
Psycho.
of the McLovin guy, aren't you?
No. I was thinking of Elijah Wood, who was in a first-person, sort of like mind-bendy. Like,
Elijah Wood would have been a good curveball. No, not him.
Yeah. Okay, so Jonah Hill. All right, so let's get into a game and we figure out how we time
it. I'm thinking of, right? I'm gonna feel really bad if I'm mixing this up.
I think. So what you're talking about, Maniac, right?
Yes, Jonah Hill is the actor I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, because I was pretty sure he was in that. All right, so so you want to pitch me a game, or do you want me to pitch you a game?
Why don't you hit me with a game first?
I can hit you with a game.
Starring Emilia Clarke and Jonah Hill. Thank you.
All right, let me hit you with this one from Alley Cat. Just a real curveball right off the gate. Game, this one comes to us from Alley Cat at Millennium Hoo Ha on Twitter. Game with jiggle physics on everything but boobs. AJ, we got to come up with a time loop game, but it's all about jiggle physics. So, is this a game where at the first run of it starts rigid, and then with every run following it becomes more and more jiggly? That way we can have some super fun with like kind of. Can we have just like this weird sort of psychedelic sort of experience of like everything is. I guess we got to come up with a plot first, right? All right, so this is obviously has Emilia Clarke and Jonah Hill. What are they doing? Like, is this I
think Emilia Clarke is going through the time loop because there's been enough games where a guy's in a time loop.
What are you talking about? There's not enough games. There's Deathloop. There's I was gonna make a joke of how there is a whole lot of them sarcastically, but I can't remember them. That joke really hinged on me being a good person with memory. AJ, please continue.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you're totally right. There are plenty of examples of like dudes being in a time loop. Groundhog Day, Deathloop. You have other ones like there's
12
a bunch of
minutes.
there's a bunch
debatably
of Disney
PT.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah,
Click probably does it for a little bit. I haven't seen it.
Well, he's not in a time loop. He's more of
what was that? Andy Sandberg, whatever the last name is. I don't know if it's an N or an M. The one. The curly-haired guy that is on a wedding day, and him and a girl are both stuck in a time loop. It's Andy Samberg, I think.
Oh,
is that the name?
Edge of Tomorrow is another one.
Edge of Tomorrow. That one is also a boy and a girl locked in a time loop. But
Source Code is another one.
Sure, never heard of that one. Did you just Google Groundhog Day movies?
I just Googled time loop movies, and there's a bunch.
Okay.
Happy Death Day. That was a pretty damn good movie. I think that was I really like that movie, but that one starred a woman, and I think it's a good example.
That one had a female lead.
Yeah.
Returnal had a woman lead.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like
everything but Emilia Clarke's bong dong gonglers are gonna jiggle like nuts by the end of this game.
So. Okay, I one of the big things I'm seeing on time loop movies, the idea is at the end of the loop they die. Like that's a pretty common one. I'd say for like the more PG stuff of like Groundhog Day or whatever, right? So is this a game where you have X amount of time before, but as each day goes by, your character becomes jigglier? So like it becomes harder and harder to do things
I
throughout the day.
know what this is.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey Blake, how familiar are you with the war on drugs?
I knew what's it called? Nancy Reagan's war on drugs failed horribly, and Dare was an awful program. Are you saying we make a Dare game?
Do you remember all those like advertisements that we would see where someone would like come home and they'd see their friend all deflated in like a little puddle in the floor?
Yeah, I do. And they have the roach on the floor.
Here's what this game is, starring Emilia Clarke and Jonah Hill. This is a video game. It's a Don't Do Drugs Kids game where Emilia Clarke has been invited to the most cool party of the night. And anytime you do drugs, the world resets, but something has been turned into jiggle physics or just a putty person.
Okay, but what's preventing the player from just not doing drugs? Like, I feel that game is
Emilia
an easy
Clarke
game
is
to beat.
really bad at falling into peer pressure, like so bad. Like you'll be given dialogue options, and until you're able to like kind of Groundhog Day your way through this, you won't know how to leave a conversation without getting just blasted with some weeds.
So you need to
I don't do drugs.
So, so actually, no, you're bringing up something interesting here. So each conversation, unless you have information or some object prior, certain paths of that conversation are locked off. So, because like one of the things, weirdly enough, I've watched a lot of documentaries on like the DARE program and like how that evolved into I forget the new acronym they use, but one of the things that they talk about in it in all of their videos is it actually gives you situations on how to respond to how to say no to drugs, because apparently it's really a lot of the people who get introduced to drugs do it just because of like they don't know how to walk away from that situation. So I'm wondering if this is like a point and click style game where it is an object puzzle game and you're just trying to figure out like, oh, is this funny? Making a game about like
no, I think that doing a game that tries to teach people social cues on how not to do drugs isn't that funny. However, one thing that we can do to make it funny is the idea of like we have another cast member and that's Jonah Hill. And I propose the idea that Jonah Hill plays as the Dare Lion, trying to teach you not to do drugs. And he kind of hangs around you like an ephemeral being at the party, just closely behind Emilia Clarke at all times. So Emilia Clarke can turn around and ask the Dare Lion what to do next. And Jonah Hill says, just don't do drugs.
I wonder.
And that's the whole game.
I wonder, okay, so if we're doing this as like kind of a mind trippy thing, the thing that immediately stands out to me is what if this game on the surface was like an anti-drug game? But you find out it is way more
under the layers is a pro-drug game.
No, not pro-drug game, but something more along the lines of like a psychological shit of like, so you're saying Jonah Hill plays Dare the Tiger or whatever.
It's a fucking lion. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, in our game, it's Dare the Tiger. Shut up. I'm not stupid.
It's the Dare Lion. I'm not budging on this.
So what if the Dare Lion is a figment of Emilia Clarke's imagination? Like they are at this.
Yeah, and that happened after she took the first hit. When you first show up, she's alone. Mm-hmm. And then she takes a hit of something. Maybe she does like a big drug. Mm-hmm. Like... Jackum? Is that a big drug?
She does a big drug like marijuana. No, but you see what...
And then the loop starts, and then the Dare Lion's there, and he's like, what's up? It's me, Jonah Hill.
I'm wondering if... Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the fuck the point of this game is, but...
It's just to put Jonah Hill in the Dare Lion outfit.
Have you ever seen Wilfred, the TV series with Elijah Wood and Jason?
Nope, but I've seen trailers for it.
Love it. It's a great. Well, the first season's pretty fucking problematic, admittedly. It was made in 2012, so of course it's going to be fucking problematic.
Everything was problematic in 2012.
Yeah. But the whole concept of that show is this guy, Elijah Wood's character, is the only one who can see this character, Wilfred, which looks like just a guy in a dog suit.
Just a dude.
Wilfred can interact with the environment. And like, interact with people, but everybody else just sees it as a regular ass dog. So I'm wondering if you can do a similar situation where the Dare Tiger...
Was the dog super intelligent then?
No, he smoked weed and just like would constantly get Elijah Wood's character into trouble. Like so
the
bad.
dog was smart enough to know how to smoke a bowl, but like I'm wondering how complex the dog's thoughts became and whether or not Elijah Wood was able to perform. Because I know there's something in there about like Elijah Wood trying to solve his dad's murder or something. The show goes places.
The show
and I'm
goes
just wondering
places.
if the dog
is cool.
able and capable of assisting in stakeout operations in the series Wilfred. Or if it's just a dog. Can he get the dog to hack into something for him?
The dog, there was a running gag that Wilfred could hack into things, but the moment Elijah Wood needed him to hack into things, he just couldn't because he was a dog. Like,
hey, wait, I could have written that.
It's really funny though. Like, there's this constant thing of like where Elijah Wood's character gets calls from Wilfred, and then the moment Wilfred needs to make a call to somebody, he just like paused the phone and knocks it off of the receiver, not knowing how to use it.
So the dog was capable of complex situations as a gag, but not as a narrative tool.
Not as a narrative tool. So going back to the game, I'm wondering if this game starts off, because let's be real, I don't think people like playing like games about like, drug awareness or, those kind of games, because they always reek of like misunderstanding. They feel very plastic.
That's why the only times the anti-drug things ever worked was when they played at the beginning of Street Fighter and Chun-Li said, "Don't do drugs, kids." And I think Ken and Ryu also told you not to do drugs, and that worked, and that was the only time.
Yeah, that was
because if the Turtles tried to tell me not to do drugs, I would have known that they were lying to me, because there's absolutely no way the TMNTs don't do drugs. I mean, they're kids, they're teenagers, so they can't do it legally, but like if they were adults, they would definitely smoke weed.
I mean, like,
there's no way the Turtles wouldn't offer me drugs at a party. There's no way they wouldn't. I'm not saying they'd be pushy about it. Like, they'd be very cool about, like, boundaries and things. I just, like, they would offer. There's no way they wouldn't.
Okay. Just trying to ground ourselves to make a game here. So I'm wondering if we can make a game.
We can just move on, because I don't want to keep touching this, because eventually we have to start talking about how Amelia Clark's boobs are the only things that don't jiggle by the end of this thing, and like that will make me feel yucky.
I mean, that doesn't have to be a yucky thing. It just like when I think of jiggle, I don't think of like, oh wow, look at the volume on that thing. I'm thinking like they lose their bones and they just become piles on the floor. That's what I picture.
And the other people that have boobs in this game, when they become deflated, their boobs won't be, and so they're gonna look like deflated sex dolls, and that's gonna suck.
Give me a different game. We're changing the subject now. We're not, I mean, like, we didn't have to go there. You didn't have to. Like, we were pretty good up to that point.
I'm pulling us out of this.
Damn right. Give me a different game submission.
This one comes from Rita, crown emoji, screaming emoji, at Rita Astronaut. Rita Astronaut? This content isn't region locked. It's vibe locked.
All right, so what are you picturing with this game?
So, you know how, like, one of the biggest problems we have right now in streaming things is that, like, things just aren't available in certain areas? Like, for example, like, I can't stream things that are on Irish Netflix, for example, or Chinese Netflix. I just got good old-fashioned U.S. soil. God bless America, American Netflix. Sometimes I just go for things and I don't think about it.
You just wanted to read the submission?
No, I'm more processing the God bless America, good old fashioned U.S. soil American Netflix. But what if it's not region locked? It is vibe locked. Blake, you're not allowed to watch season 2 of Beastars because you simply can't kick it. Like, you just wouldn't be able to fuck with Pagliocci? What's the name of that wolf?
So,
Lucci?
You know
what's the name of the dog in Beastars?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't watch Beastars. I wish I did.
Legoshi. I got it.
Yeah. The opening to that series is really good. Okay, hold on. You're onto something here. Because you know what this game or this streaming service maybe gives me super vibes of? This sounds like those people who play gacha games and do the rituals, being like, you wanted to summon
like me?
Yeah, I wasn't going to call you out, but there was a certain
we've talked about it. We've talked about how like I failed most gacha rolls unless I go through a ritual to get my vibes right. I go to the beach to try to get the summer servants because they show up for summertime fun. There's a character named Shuten that is just a little demon that drinks all the time. So when I summoned for that character, I was blackout drunk in the middle of New Orleans.
And is totally not a lolly, but everybody loves to say they're not a lolly, but they're totally a fucking lolly.
I have thoughts and opinions about that, and you're not baiting me.
They're a lolly, AJ. I get it. You know what?
She's just short.
I don't want to do another episode where we talk about things that aren't video games, because we've done that I think like 2 episodes back, and I'm like, that was fun, but we're here to. So
this content isn't region locked; it's vibe locked.
So you're saying you have to get really angry to watch like an angry thing, or you're saying you have to be really chill to watch this media. See, what I like about this is
you, the player, has to be cool and chill. Like this has to be a video game that like it's loops, but like your loops are actually dependent on your vibes. Like let's say it's a loop game, and if you want to talk to the cool hiker, your phone has to detect that you go on walks regularly enough to hang with the hiker character.
Okay. So you know what I think is really dastardly about this is, you know, like how in early days of Neopets, they basically did interactive advertisement where like, oh, you can bring your pet to McDonald's and, you know, you can get a Coke and it gives you extra points because you went there and had a Coca-Cola brand Coca-Cola. So I'm thinking it's like for certain media, you have to go to certain areas which could happen to be a Pizza Hut, or hey, they're going to an amusement
park. Don't drink enough pizza to hang out with the TMNTs.
Yeah,
but go ahead and use your Domino's code and bring you up your pizza vibes, and you can hang out.
And then you can Then you can read all the TMNT comics you can for like an hour, or it's like, so you are literally. I'm wondering if this is something where this is going to be really dastardly and predatory, but this is a free service. This is a streaming service that has free access to anything you can, anything. So this is like Game Pass, Netflix, and your comic manga reading thing in one. But to have access to specific things, you have to do a vibe check, and that vibe check is like, okay, you want to read Fate, and it's this new arc is all about drinking. Guess what? You got to go spend X amount of money at a bar. You have to get X amount drink. The plus is, yeah, you get this content for free, but how much money are you really? How much more money are you losing because you have to do stuff for the vibe check? Like,
you want to watch the live action Transformers movies? Well, you either need to be a car guy or a misogynist, idiot. Take your trivia test. Let's find out. Like, that's what we're proposing right now, yeah?
Whoa, those are 2 extremes, dude.
What other vibe do you have to enjoy the Transformers live-action movies?
You hit it right on the head.
Somebody that likes the live-action Transformers movies that is not either A, car guy, or B, a misogynist, or C, both. I will show you a liar.
Does our friend Kyra like them? Or not Rin like them?
No, Rin does not like the live-action Transformers.
Rin hates the. I know they love the comics, but like, I guess
that's what makes Rin a real one. TM is that they understand good Transformers media.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. They have a whole channel in our Discord dedicated to just Transformers. Like everybody
also,
read Transformers content.
Big ups to our personal friend group. Hey, Rin, thanks for not being a misogynist. Love that about you. Okay, we're done with Inside Baseball just for our friends.
All right, let me give you a video game, okay?
Oh, you don't? Okay, we're just going to put a pin in this one and move on?
I mean, it's there. It's just like, okay, if you want to go to this thing, if you want this thing, you need to go spend money doing X things. Like, oh, hey, you want to watch an episode of Stranger Things? Guess what? You got to go to an arcade, or you got to go to a bowling alley, or you got to do some other small town bullshit that where you spend money. And of course, this could be connected to a Fitbit, because then you get guess what? You got to get X amount of steps in if you want to watch that sweet, or you have to play X amount of volleyball if you want to watch an episode of, is it Haikyuu? God, I don't. What's that volleyball?
Yeah, you do
anime
have to actually know things about sports in order to watch sports anime. I do love that very much.
And like, if you and I wanted to watch the next season of Megalobox, you and I got a box for like 8 sessions, and then we can watch an episode of Megalobox.
And we have to prove that we have a membership to a gym, which we can get a discount code through the app.
Oh my God, it hooks you up to like, hey, here are some local places.
This is like all of the streaming services. This is if Groupon made a streaming service, right?
Yeah, I honestly, and this is hopefully this isn't Suck Force acting it's an invisible shitty way, but
if it is, I will go into a court battle with Groupon. Hey, Groupon, check yourself. I will. You can't open a streaming service. I'm watching you, Groupon.
Well, bro, like this is something we've experienced before. Like this is nothing new. Like fucking look at what's it called? Like Six Flags. Like, hey, go drink a Coke and you can bring that Coke can with you. You know, it's just a more extreme version of that. Of like, hey, if you want something from us, you know, all via a discount or access to certain content, go spend this money. And it's fucking awful, and it's something that will make us a lot of money. Come a household name.
What do you think you would need to purchase in order to gain access to watching the Willy Wonka movies?
You just go buy some Nestle.
Candy's too easy. It can't be that.
Really? I mean, I feel like you kind of...
I would argue that Willy Wonka has a pretty anti-candy mindset, and so I think that, like, what would your vibes need to be in order to watch a movie where a candy man ruins the lives of 7 children?
I mean, you just, like, you find your own business that has a bunch of OSHA violations, and then you just
support bad businesses, and then you can watch the...
You just support bad...
You're pretty staunchly anti-union. You're allowed to watch Willy Wonka.
But you can only watch the 1970s version. If you want to watch the new updated one with who directed that one? Is the one that starred Johnny... Tim Burton. All right, so
the guy that wants Johnny Depp to fuck his wife so badly.
Wait, I thought Tim Burton and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. She has a very elegant name. Tim Burton wife. It's actually. She has a she's not.
Yeah, she has a different last name because famous people don't share names.
Well, I mean, they separated. So, like, wait, hold on a second. So, 1987, Oh, so Helena Bonham Carter. I thought did they get? I guess they're not married anymore. Helena Bonham Carter. Bonham Carter. God, what a cool name, actually. You
can tell it's cool because you had to take 2 tries at it.
Yeah, I mean, if we know anything, I'm not good with words. Like, let's be real. All right, let me hit you with a new game. This one comes to us from, guess what? It's August, R.I.P. Summer, at Dust in Your Eyes. Danny Phantom Abyss.
Danny Phantom Abyss. Now, how do we get Emilia Clarke and Jonah Hill into that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were supposed to do that. Oh, and it's also, we were supposed to make a time loop game, huh? Well, yeah. Okay, this one actually works as a time loop thing because in the game Phantom
Abyss is something. What is it?
Phantom Abyss is a free-running game that takes place in, like, abandoned temples. Where you just are trying to like free run and dodge and obstacle course your way to the bottom of the pit. Yeah.
This is the run, duck, and dodge, and you see the ghosts of people that have tried this dungeon before you.
Yes. So what if you did some sort of narrative where you are Emilia Clarke, Tomb Raider extraordinaire, and with each run, you can actually communicate with your previous ghost. And there's like maybe some conversations that can be had. So it's like I'm wondering if like
now is Emilia Clarke Danny Phantom?
No, Danny. Yes, Danny Phantom. Yeah, because her nickname in Game of Thrones was Danny, AJ. So we're on the fucking money here.
And it was an early 2000s cartoon, so there's probably a girl version of Danny Phantom. Let me just do a quick Google search.
I think there was.
What do we guess? Is it Daniel or Daniela Phantom?
I think it's just Danny, because Danny is a non-binary name as far as I know.
Let me just Google girl Danny Phantom.
I think there's an episode where he got turned into a girl, because that was like a big thing with a lot of early 2000s
We got a
media.
Donnie Fenton, Dani.
Donnie. Oh, that's a good name.
Donnie. Danielle Donnie Fenton Phantom is a human ghost hybrid, biological clone, and cousin of Danny Phantom.
Oh, that's right. There is that little girl version. I totally forgot. What if that is Emilia Clarke's character and Danny is wow, I totally forgot about that. And it's what's it called? So we basically have Jonah Hill be Danny Phantom and we have Emilia Clarke be that one. But what the narrative I'm thinking here would be really cool is, what if you do your first run of this game, and obviously you're going to die. Like, it's just, you don't know the game, you don't know the layouts, you don't know the muscle memory of it. You die. The point is you can then, in your next run, you get all the way up to where your ghost died, and then you can have a conversation with it. You can talk to them, and then they can either give you items, they can give you advice. Maybe they talk about, in this world, like, people die but don't die. So it's like, maybe 100 years has passed since that ghost spawned there, so they have 100 years worth of information.
I think this is Dwarf Fortress, dog.
Dwarf Fortress? Is that like that's a game? Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is a construction and management simulation and roguelike indie game developed by Bay 12.
One of the gimmicks of this game is that when you fail a run, time moves on before you can do another run. Oh. You are generationally different every time you do a run.
But you're not the same person, though. That's what I'm getting at here.
Okay.
Because I think that's a great idea. Like the idea of like 100 years past and what you built is in tatters and ruins and all that stuff. That's not what I'm getting at here. What I'm getting at here is that you meet yourself that previously died, and they have 100 years worth of like experience or or other interactions be after they died. So you're fundamentally meeting a different person at that point. So
but a ghost clone of you.
But a ghost clone of you. So like,
whoa.
Well, I mean, the way Phantom Abyss works is like it's kind of a place that exists out of time and out of like,
and out of touch,
physical space. God damn it. So I'm one, but now picture that where it's like that happens every single time you die. Are you meeting the ghost from your very first run who's now like, instead of 100 years old, they're 200 years old? Or are you meeting yourself from your second run who's only 100 years old? So you basically, as the game goes on, the cast of characters that you meet gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but they're all just different versions of you with different experiences beyond you. And I think there's something there that's like fucking wicked cool. Also,
except they're a ghost, so like there's some experiences that they wouldn't have had, like eating food or breathing or going places, because they're a ghost, so they're locked to one location, because ghosts can't travel. That's the rules. I disagree.
Did you watch the episode where Danny Phantom goes into the ghost zone? Where he like sees all of the ghosts living their lives, and I think
that's true. Of course, we all know that you're allowed to move in the ghost zone, but I wasn't thinking that they were haunting the ghost zone.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I figured that this is where this is taking place. That would be where it most makes sense, right?
Okay, yeah, we're running through the ghost zone.
Yeah, it would explain why things are different, and of course, like between games, you can upgrade your ghost powers. So like that's the plot of the game is like, instead of Danny Phantom, for those that don't know Danny Phantom, I'm just realizing that not everybody knows this critically awesome cartoon. It's about a guy, his parents hunt ghosts, they're super into it.
Young Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to see a world unseen. Blake, help. What's the next words?
Here, hold on. Let me pull it up for us.
Anyway, the kid climbed into the machine and he hit a button, and then he got hit with a ghost laser, and then he died.
Here you go. Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to view a world unseen. He's gonna catch them all because he is Danny Phantom. When it
we go into the chorus, yeah, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah,
it
blah,
didn't
blah,
quite
blah.
work there was a great big flash. Everything just changed. His molecules got all rearranged. Phantom, parentheses. When he first woke up, realized he had snow white hair and glowing green eyes. He was much more unique than the other guys. So he basically got turned into a half ghost. So instead
he got
of
hit
him,
with ghost DNA and became part ghost.
yeah, so that's our plot here. So rather than him just turning into a ghost and staying in the real world, he gets part ghost and is in the Phantom Zone. So now he's trying to fight or free run his way out while discovering his sweet powers, understanding that maybe Amelia. I'm trying to figure out like how do you mix in this.
Well,
is
Jonah
Amelia
Hill is
Clarke.
going to be playing as Danny Phantom, and Amelia Clarke will be playing as Danny Phantom. Small.
Small.
Danny Phantom, parentheses, girl.
Yeah. And then you're just going over the course of the game, just discussing with your other ghosts or something like that. And then, you get new powers that allow you to traverse terrain differently or like phase through walls that you couldn't go through before. Maybe that's how you die the first time, is like you don't know how to.
You just run full-fledged face first into a wall so hard you die and put a ghost there. And then the next time you get there, you start going full force and the ghost stops you and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
hey,
whoa,
I learned this sick new trick over the 100 years I've been alive. You gotta phase yourself, man. This is the only thing I learned, but I'm really good at it because I've been studying it for 100 years. So okay, I think that's a game. And it has that time loop element. That's a game. Yeah. All right. Do you have a game?
No, I think I want to figure out whether or not any of these three are nugs yet.
Okay. I feel like the most fucked up SUCC game is the vibe check game. And
that's where I'm feeling too. It feels more like a service and a design docket more than it does a game. But it does feel like the thing. Is there any way that we could turn this into a game, or are we pretty confident about it being like the world's worst honey like Google extension add-on?
Could you do a thing where the more you interact with it, you get some sort of in-app currency? So it'll be like, hey, you have done the whole gone to Pizza Hut 5 times. Guess what? The next time you need to go Pizza Hut to view a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode, we'll waive that fee for you. You collected X amount of in-game currency. So there's like this feeling of like gives people that feeling of progress, but there is no progress. Then again, that's not. It's still not a game.
Also this.
What's up?
You know what counts as games sometimes?
What's up?
Visual novels.
Oh,
so maybe we just give maybe for the IPs that we know we have procured through this thing. Not only do you have to get through the vibe checks to gain access to see The Greatest Showman, you also need to earn there will be a Greatest Showman visual novel that you will only be able to unlock if you continue getting more Greatest Showman vibes. Now that would be earned through either watching The Greatest Showman over and over again, or perhaps listening to mediocre singles. And what else? I guess going to actual carnivals. I bet you people that are actual like big carnival fans are big Greatest Showman heads.
I thought that was like was Greatest Showman like a carnival themed movie? I thought it was like a stage play. Like he wanted to be a
circus.
Oh,
no! It's about the guy that makes the first circus.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I've never seen it, so I have no idea.
It's got Hugh Jackman in it. Why the fuck haven't you seen it?
I don't know, man. Because
I already got. What's your damage?
Hey, because I've already seen the greatest Hugh Jackman movie ever made, and that's Gamer, which is not problematic in the slightest, and has
Hugh
aged
Jackman's
perfectly.
in Gamer?
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's Gerard Butler. God, I'm a fucking idiot. I was thinking.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's what I thought. Dumb. Although I get it, you got your incredibly muscular, musically inclined man mixed up. I totally understand.
Also, like nondescript, like non-American who does a lot of American roles that people that often get confused.
Are they both Australian?
Yeah, I think he's New Zealand. I think he's from New Zealand.
Okay. Anyway, try again. It's got Hugh Jackman in it. Hugh Jackman is the Wolverine and the dad from Real Steel.
Neil Jackman is from. He's an Australian actor. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I was also thinking of The Prestige because he is in that, and he's pretty fucking great in that.
Hugh Jackman's a great actor.
So okay, so what? Two things I want to figure out. Why is Emilia Clarke and not
why
Seth
and how are Emilia Clarke and Jonah Hill attached to this project? That is an excellent question.
Is this going to be a situation where there is a visual novel with the two of them that is unlocked by you taking in other content? So, like, the clues to their story are like...
It's going to be an Amazon... It's going to be an Amazon original series where you can only unlock episodes. It'll be like Bandersnatch, but it will be directly linked to your Amazon account. And so you will only be able to make choices based on your Amazon account's actual history. Be that through purchases or things that you've watched.
No, this is... I'm going to pitch you on something. So something that's really big right now is... So, like, Loot Crate was a thing, and then that happened. A lot of people liked it, and a lot of businesses basically built a model very similar to that, where they would send you once a month a box full of things. One of the big things right now is solving murder mysteries in a box. Okay. And imagine with any time you use Amazon, a little extra thing comes along, like say you're buying some combs or some shit. Guess what? A little envelope with a wax stamp comes onto it that relates to the game. So it'd be like, hey, for you to advance this next part of the visual novel, you gotta buy... they give you a hint or something, and you have to, like, it's like, oh my god, we need a knife to cut our way out of here. Here's a link to Amazon Prime. You can buy you can buy. So you have to buy that knife, and then it gives you access or some sort of hint to get to the next part of the visual novel.
So the TV show will have its own Amazon wish list that you will need to purchase off of to earn...
You have to figure it out, because here's the thing. People can get that wrong. Right. That way they buy more than one thing. That way
it'll have a secret Amazon wish list.
Or so
you like Jonah Hill and Emilia Clarke will be looking at each other. They'll be tied up, and they'll say, quick, we need to cut ourselves out. And then the screen will pause, and you, the viewer, will then get a little pop-up menu that's like Amazon links. And then you can start scrolling through, and you can Google knife. And then you'll purchase the knife online. And then Jonah Hill will be like, don't worry, I got a knife. And he pulls a knife in from out of frame. And like this can have a little bit of like a choose your own adventure vibe, because if you bought scissors, he'll be like, don't worry, I have a pair of scissors.
Whoa. Whoa. This like, and it influences like how the whole story unfolds depending on what
it does not change the story. It only changes the props.
No, I think the props, like, I think it does influence the story, because this is not just about buying items. It's about also digesting certain kinds of content, right? So it'll be like, oh, you went to the movies, so guess what? This next scene takes place at the movies, or this next scene takes place at something somewhat similar, like you went to pizza.
Emilia Clarke and Jonah Hill will be like, we're looking to go on a date, and then you can choose like an outing, and like you could buy spa tickets, or you could buy a movie theater ticket, or you could buy, but like there will be like so many things and tickets you can buy on Amazon, but we only have like 2 or 3 scenes prepped, so I hope that they buy one of the 2 or 3 things we have prepped to continue the story.
I mean, I think how you would frame that is you just use things that are vague enough, you know? It's like, hey, we're going to go to dinner, so they go out and go eat. And guess what? You can watch that video while you're out eating, so then you can see their dinner scene while you're having a dinner scene.
And then it's like you're eating dinner with Jonah Hill and Emilia Clarke.
Oh, I wish. I mean, not Jonah Hill, but like I would...
Why not? He's a very talented actor.
He's very talented, but I want to talk to Emilia Clarke. She's got a really cute voice.
Because you're a simp.
I'm a fucking simp, dude. Like,
because you're a baby. Because you think you got a shot at Emilia Clarke, which of course you do. Look at you. You have a charming smile.
I have a charming smile, and my eyelashes are very wavy.
And you have a give 'em hell attitude. And you're plucky. I don't know what that means, but you are.
Plucky means you got a lot of. If you got pluck, that means you got a lot of. Like you're high energy. You got a lot of.
God, if you catch your eyes in the right light, dude, they shine so bright.
Bro, have you seen your eyes? You got great eyes. Don't complimenting me, man. You should look in the mirror. You got great eyes, bro. You got a great smile, and when your hair is fully grown out on your face, you look unstoppable.
Aw. Yeah, I'm smooth currently. I'm starting to grow my beard back out again. It feels so good to be able to look at my reflection and recognize myself. I had to, for those listeners, I had to shave my beard recently because I was dealing with super dangerous chemicals. So I had to wear a gas mask.
You were all smooth, and it was like time traveling. Speaking of time loops, it was like the first time I saw you 5 years ago with no beard.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you both,
was wild.
Neither of us had beards when we first met, and God, were we not attractive?
We weren't living life. We weren't living life like the bearded men we now are. Blake Rhea.
Yes.
I think.
You think that's the game? You think
that's as much a game
check?
as we're getting close to? I think that like Bandersnatch, but with a pay-to-win system, is more game than and Netflix is willing to do. So I think we can call that.
All right, what are we gonna call it? Is it just Vibe Check? I think that's a pretty actiony sort of name. Also, because
Vibe Check is really good because it kind of plays with the idea of writing a check to Amazon. Yeah, I'm into that.
Yep. Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
Do we want to actually come up with like a logline of what this show would be about, or is it just kind of generic like?
We figured out
Jonah
the
Hill
game
and Amelia Clark have to deal with. Yeah, we'll figure out what the writers do. Yeah.
Unless you have like a banger. All right, AJ, elevator pitch. You got 2 sentences to convince me of the story of this game. 2 sentences only.
So Amelia Clark and Jonah Hill are 2 roommates, and they're kind of like stoners, and they go on a bunch of misadventures.
That's a game. Amelia Clark is a stoner. That's a fucking. For those that don't know, that was like when AJ and I went to film school. Anytime people would pitch us, that was a pretty common one because everybody really fucking loves Sunny and Philly.
It was a pitch that you would see in every classroom, in every writing exercise, in any directing exercise. It always made it on the stack.
All right, let me pitch you my 2 sentence pitch. All right, so Amelia Clark and oh god, I forgot his name already. Amelia Clark.
Jonah Hill. It's Jonah Hill. Oh my god, stop disrespecting him.
All right, so Amelia Clark and Jonah Hill are upcoming film students, and they're making a movie about what it's like to be a filmmaker. And yeah.
Oh, then you're having to buy all their props. I see.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good angle, actually. This is them making a fucking movie. God, because it would be so funny to see Amelia Clark as like a very well-established, very successful actress playing the part of like a young film student that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Is just
Blake,
like
I just want to make sure that you're not dissing on Jonah Hill this same way. So you're like, oh, it'd be crazy to see Amelia Clark trying to be a character that's like on the come up. Do you feel the same way about established actor and famous person Jonah Hill, or do you think that it would be totally fine and normal to see him acting as somebody on the come up that doesn't have a name?
I think he's still
like it'd be so wild and crazy if Amelia Clark did it, but Jonah Hill? No, that tracks. Is that what you're saying?
Look, Jonah Hill he's still on the come up. He's still trying to get. So I think he's a perfect fit. I think it's perfect casting. He'll bring a level of, reality and groundedness to this series.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about Jonah Hill, because you keep dissing this man. You and I still think about Superbad. I haven't thought about Game of Thrones in months.
I think about Game of Thrones all the time, dude. I love that show. Did
you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I talked to you about it. I binged it over the course of a month because, like, I watched it a bunch back when I was dating. And after her and I broke up, I just stopped watching it because it was just like that, affiliation bullshit. But then, and then after season 8, after I heard all the crazy shit that happened in season 8, I'm like, all right, I got to finish this. I got to watch this. So happy I did. Love that series. But whatever. Superbad. I mean, I only think about it when I hear like the name McLovin or like I see any of the actors who were in Superbad. I'm like, it's so hard to get that image of them out of my head. I mean, okay, Jonah Hill did Maniac. He also worked with Martin Scorsese on that other fucking movie. What is it? Wolf of Wall Street. The ones all Hollywood ate up.
Jonah
for some
Hill
fucking
is
reason.
in Wolf of Wall Street. I totally forgot that.
Yeah, he's in Wolf of Wall Street. And then I don't know, man.
And that's it. All right, Blake, let's go ahead and close the episode out. You want to go to patch notes?
Sure thing. Let's go to patch notes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Blake and I have new and exciting news it's really kind of an upgrade on previous news more than anything. Blake, do you want to hit him with it?
Yeah, so the big news I want to mention today is that we are taking on 2 Let's Plays a week now. For those that don't know, we have a YouTube channel where we do Let's Plays. We upload some video competitions of us shouting out fans. We have some of our audio trailers up there. But we want to give the YouTube channel more love, so we are now taking on 2 Let's Plays a week. We are currently playing It Takes Two and Dead Rising 2. They both have 2s.
Both of which are great games for very different reasons.
Yes.
And it's been super fun. We're hoping to chew through those soon. In the next couple weeks, we should be finishing Dead Rising 2, and then we'll be hunting down another game, which we haven't quite decided on what that will be next. But if you guys want to see a little bit more of Blake and I interacting, a little bit of a different scene, please go check out our YouTube channel and watch those Let's Plays.
Yeah. Until then, thank you very much for listening and joining us this week. Hey, again, this episode was a little bit sporadic. I definitely think we kind of lost the lead on a lot of things, but hey, it was fun.
I think we had the lead the whole time. You know what? I felt in control the whole time for Sherzies and never lost anything and didn't lose my cool at any points. And I'm proud of myself for that.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
As always, our intro and outro music is Cheap Shot by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made.